Well, the pictures speak for themselves. The Cauvery water dispute is heating up once again, and this time the numbers have changed dramatically. The immediate flashpoint is an order directing Karnataka to release 12,000 cusecs of Cauvery water every day to Tamil Nadu for 15 days starting the 12th of August. And the direction came from the Cauvery Water Regulation Committee and was subsequently backed by the Cauvery Water Management Authority as well. And Karnataka is making it clear that it is not comfortable with that order. The state had earlier been directed to release 3,500 cusecs a day for 15 days. Karnataka says it had begun complying with that earlier direction after rainfall improved inflows into the Cauvery catchment. But the latest order is more than 3 times that quantity. Water Resources Minister Ramalinga Reddy says releasing 12,000 cusecs daily for 15 days would amount to roughly 16 TMC, a quantity he says Karnataka will find extremely difficult to spare. And the state says its own reservoirs are water table. They remain a concern, particularly in the old Mysuru region, and insists that its farmers and standing crops cannot be ignored. You've got Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar. He's striking a more cautious note. He says Karnataka has a responsibility to protect its own farmers, but must also abide by the court orders. So where does that balance lie? And that is the difficult balance Karnataka now has to navigate, because on the other side is Tamil Nadu, which says Karnataka has not released its rightful share of Cauvery water. We're not getting our rightful share. Tamil Nadu has already approached the Supreme Court. Chief Minister Vijay has written to the Prime Minister seeking 26.954 TMC of water, arguing that the earlier 3,500 cusecs release was grossly inadequate. And that hearing has now been deferred to August 17th. I think the judge was ill. Now, so we have multiple moving parts here. There are protests that are taking place and a fresh 12,000 cusecs release order. Karnataka questioning whether it has enough water to comply. Tamil Nadu insisting that it is being denied its due share. Farmers on both sides watching the situation closely. And protests are already emerging in parts of Karnataka, with the Bandh call adding another layer to the dispute. There is also the longer-term political and infrastructure question. Karnataka has once again raised Mekidat, the dam, as a potential permanent solution to the state's water concerns, but the fundamental problem remains the same. How do you balance a river-sharing agreement, court directions, reservoir levels, rainfall uncertainty, and the immediate needs of the farmers in these two states? And perhaps the biggest question, is this primarily a question of water availability or of how the Cauvery sharing formula is being interpreted and enforced? With us on the broadcast, S.S. Sriram, senior journalist, and Mr. Vijay Grover. Many thanks, Mr. Grover and Mr. Sriram, for taking out the time. Mr. Grover, how does one look at these developments first and right at the outset? Because one has to look at the fact that, is this ultimately a water sharing dispute, or is this turning out to be a battle over who gets to define what constitutes as distress and for whom?
Kabir, good evening. And before I put my point of view, I just want to share some statistics and facts so that
Yes,
things are very clear on this. The 12,000 cusecs which has been ordered, more or less the natural flow from Cauvery itself is about 10 to 12,000, which is going downstream from Cauvery overflow. So that's more or less actually maintained. Now, the second thing is we need to understand that today, again, if you were to look at the data, while KRS has about 20 TMC of water, Mettur has about 36 TMC of water. And we need to understand one thing, that in case Tamil Nadu, which says that it is concerned about the farmers or below the Mettur in the Delta region, it has enough water to ensure that for 15 days it can take care of its farmers. Now, the reason why I am saying this is also for the simple fact that the retreating monsoon, which gets active in October to December, is what gives Tamil Nadu more than 50% of the water requirement the farmers have, the people have for drinking water, and that is something which is anticipated to be good. It is not likely to be as bad as what we saw in this present monsoon. Now, the hesitation on part of Karnataka stems from the fact that Tamil Nadu does, while it gets the retreating monsoon, Karnataka does not get a retreating monsoon. And today, when you have KRS at 20 TMC storage, that is something which is a concern, because Bengaluru, which depends on drinking water from KRS Cauvery, needs to have that security at least till January, February And that is where we are seeing this concern that the hesitation from Karnataka is coming. I'm placing the facts without any perspective. Now, we need to understand the CWMA and what is the Karnataka's contention, that while Tamil Nadu may still, today Tamil Nadu holds more Cauvery water than Karnataka does, and despite that there is a demand which is being put to share that much more water, is little, out of comprehension. And also we need to factor that the retreating monsoon will give Tamil Nadu some more relief. So Karnataka's hesitation should be taken in that point of view and understood. Now, while the courts have decided, the courts have given thing, we need to take it forward that 8 to 9,000 cusecs, which is flowing naturally, is something what Karnataka can afford without jeopardizing the threat to its farming community. And that's what is the stance of Karnataka at the moment. And, I'm just putting everything in a very clear perspective, so that, while sentiments are high, emotions are high, there's a Karnataka Bandh.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Mr. Grover. The Karnataka Bandh, can you throw some light on that as well? People are talking about how there are cracks in that unity and, some schools might work, some shops might open up. What are you picking up from the ground and your assessment of the Karnataka Bandh? Tomorrow is also, I think, the first day of the assembly at the Vidhana Sauda.
Well, see, the assembly itself is something where this issue is expected to be discussed, debated, not tomorrow though, because after the obituaries it will not be think. But people are divided for the simple reason that, the triggers have been pressed by both Tamil Nadu and Karnataka by certain factions. But the real issue is, until unless there is a government support to a Bandh, the Bandh does not become fully effective. But given Cauvery is a very sentimental issue for us, there could be a partial impact that we will see. And certainly in central Bengaluru region and, where we are pretty strong in the Mysore Mandya region, these could be the regions which could see some impact of the Bandh tomorrow.
And Mr. Grover, why do you think this has jumped so dramatically from 3,500 cusecs to now 12,000 cusecs? How does one, read that particular number?
Well, see, 3,500 cusecs when it was prescribed earlier also. At that time also, the monsoon had just picked up at about 6 to 8,000 cusecs was flowing then. In fact, for a few days, the inflow was about 12,000. Kabini was overflowing and releasing up to 12,000, which by the time it reached mature was about 7 to 8,000 cusecs. So clearly, this is something where, the backlog, there was a backlog of 9.8 TMC, which had to be given to Tamil Nadu as the July share, and the courts and the CWMA have taken that into cognizance that the backlog needs to be taken care of, so that, the sowing, whatever is needed for that is the thing. But clearly, I would say over here, Tamil Nadu government, if it is really concerned about the sowing activity and the farmers' concerns, has enough water in Mettur Dam to be able to take care of the farmers at the moment. We can think about the future later, because water once flowed cannot be brought back to Karnataka, and you have to understand and appreciate Karnataka's hesitation, because even the courts mandate that drinking water is primary, and drinking water is this is the first right of any river water sharing agreement. And that's why Karnataka wants to hold enough water that a city like Bengaluru, which needs 24 TMC feet of water, it has enough to take care of the water requirements till at least February.
There are 2-3 more aspects to take a look at. Of course, there is the aspect of the Mekedatu Dam, because DK Shivkumar says Mekedatu is the permanent solution to the Cauvery water issue. Tamil Nadu, it's a big no-no for them. You're saying they have enough water, especially for the next 15 days, and then they have the retreating monsoon, which Karnataka will not have. The Bengaluru drinking water problem is another issue, and protecting its own farmers is going to be very important for DK Shivkumar, first-time Chief Minister over there. But then problem and political optics are equally important for, Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Because Udayanidhi Stalin has already trained his guns at Vijay for asking for the same kind of unity that Karnataka has been able to show, and Tamil Nadu has not been. When it comes to delimitation, when it comes to NEET bill, I think AIADMK and DMK have backed the TVK, but not on the Cauvery, water row front. So that's the political optics is one thing to deal with. But before I ask you that, Mr. Grover, how will DK Shivkumar be able to balance all of this? Because there are some quotations that have come out. He says we must protect our farmers and also abide by the court orders. So how will this stand the test of, the legal test at the court is one angle to look at. And no one can keep the water, have patience is a very DK Shiv Kumar line. It's a very DK Shiv Kumar line. Where are you going to take water back home? Nobody can take water. Have some patience. Nobody can keep the water. But this is a balancing task for DK Shiv Kumar. He's already had cabinet portfolio troubles and now he's got another balancing act to do it.
Well, Kabir, very rightly you put it across for the simple reason that he does not want to rub the courts on the wrong side. He's not in a situation like Jayalalitha or Karunanidhi or even like Siddaramaiah who could take the courts head on and challenge it. Like we saw how Jayalalitha defied and she sat on a hunger strike. So he knows he's a new chief minister. The same situation even Vijay faces, that both of them are literally of equal time span that they've spent in their chairs. But the fact is that, he does not want to hurt the court sentiment or, make something that will come very strong on him and take his authority away. So he is trying to do the balancing act. That's what he tried to do with the all-party meeting, also trying to convince them that we will protect the rights of our farmers, but we will not go beyond what the court is prescribed or defy what the courts have prescribed. So very clearly, he's got a very thin line to walk on and, he's trying to do his best. But given the situation of the water at the moment, I think so there would be no major conflict that he will have with the CWMA or CWRC. Thankfully, till 17th, we expect some activity of the monsoon and maybe things will, subside to some extent, that the sentiments will calm down.
The judge took ill today. I was waiting for Mr. Sriram. I think got some technical difficulty. I'm going to ask the control room to quickly patch him back in. But you see, the judge took ill today. Otherwise, we would have better clarity as to what's going to happen. Now we'll have to wait till the 17th of August. That's next week. What do you think is going to happen in the courtroom over there? I mean, I of course don't want you to, foretell the story here. I know you're not a soothsayer yourself, but in terms of, the court looking at only facts and the legal aspects, not really looking at the emotions as much as the political parties will. Do you think this is going to tilt to one particular side, or we'll have to wait and find out as to what really happens in the Supreme Court?
Kabir, once the monsoons pick up and once, the water levels are not in a distress formula mode, things generally get smoother. Both the states talk to each other, officials talk to each other, and then decide, what outflow, what inflows need to be managed at which stage. Because the biggest tragedy is that more than 90% of the Cauvery water goes into the sea untapped. And that's a very sad state where the point of Mekadatu that you mentioned, that, this is where the two states need to come together. That you would have a reservoir for 4 TMC feet of water, which could take care of some requirements of drinking water, some requirements of, say, Trichy downflow. So all this and what DK Shiv Kumar has been trying to make people understand is that Mekadatu will not take away Tamil Nadu's rights to any limit. It will only facilitate that water can be held back for some time and then given to Tamil Nadu as and when it overflows. So clearly,
water held back. I think that, those apprehensions, whether they're justified. I can see Mr. Sriram is back with us. Mr. Sriram, what's your assessment here? DK Shiv Kumar saying Mekadatu will end all the problems. Of course, we're waiting till the 17th of August as to what happens in the Supreme Court. Karnataka government thinking about mulling whether they're going to challenge this order. But this dramatic jump from 3,500 to 12,000 Cusecs, and Mr. Grover here is saying that Tamil Nadu has enough water for at least the next 15 days. They will also get the retreating monsoon.
No. Now, I mean, first of all, let the politicians stop flagging these issues for their political means. I think water, as already said, is a national asset. It does not belong to any specific state, especially the states that are above the water receiving states. Now, farmers of Karnataka is as important as farmers of Tamil Nadu. You can't, differentiate the farmers of Karnataka and farmers of Tamil Nadu.
Yep.
Now, both these states have to sit and do a permanent solution ever without any issue for both the farmers as well as the drinking needs of people of Karnataka. Now, we have spoken enough on this. And this high time that we also need water when the farmers of Tamil Nadu need the water. I mean, another dam is not going to serve the purpose. Meghdadu is not going. That can be a very, a tricky so-called decision for us to, later on be more dependent on Karnataka.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
water is a national asset, period.
Very well
Now,
said, very well put. Mr. Sriram, I'll ask you this. For Karnataka,
every
it's about
citizen
security.
Every citizen has the right for the
Yes,
water.
absolutely.
And how to be done is is in the hands of both the states, who have to be responsible with the interference of the central government.
Can
That's the way to
both these
look at it.
states
Yeah.
find that common ground that you're suggesting, Mr. Sriram? Because what better time? You've got TVK in alliance with the Congress party and the Congress party in the state of Karnataka. Is this, how difficult is this? How easy is this going to be? Security for one, state, rightful share for the other state, and you can't differentiate between the farmers. You very aptly put that.
Was when DMK and Congress were together, the same Congress was in the state of Karnataka, and DMK was the power in Tamil Nadu. What happened? Nothing happened. I mean, politicians play with the feelings and the emotions of both the states. Now, that is exactly the problem. They have to be honest enough to understand that there can be a permanent solution that can be easily brought from both the states. Both the states have problems with, managing water. I mean, I have seen a lot of, people from the Karnataka side, especially the environmentalists, have said that a lot of lakes have gone in Karnataka. So, and likewise in Tamil Nadu, I do agree that the Mettur Dam needs to be drenched better, so they understand they store the water better. Now, water storing is at flaw from both the states. Both politicians in both the states take people for a ride. That needs to be stopped. No matter whichever government is in power, be it in Tamil Nadu or be it in Karnataka, there has to be a permanent monitoring system by all the three stakeholders, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and the central government, and ensure that the people of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, be it farmers or the citizens, get ample water. Nature has been kind. Politicians have not been honest and kind to ensure the water is given to the people of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka.
Yeah, it sounds really good, even if it's on paper, whether that's actually going to be able to happen in reality. Because Mr. Grover, I think Mr. Sriram makes a very credible point. You can't differentiate between the farmers on both sides. You really need these two sides to, stop with the politic optics and, come through with a resolution. Karnataka, actually, I'll rephrase this question for you. Can Karnataka protect its farmers, still meet the legal obligations to Tamil Nadu, or is one side inevitably going to feel shortchanged even in the long run?
See, Karnataka will definitely has filed a petition and will ask for it to come down to about 9,000 cusecs. In case the monsoons fail, there's nothing that can be done. I mean, what we are now giving, what is mandated at 12,000 cusecs, it could be 8,000, 9,000 over a period of time instead of 15 or 18. The fact is that issue has to be resolved amicably, and this is something where, in case there is excess rain, nobody can stop it here, and in case there is a shortfall of rain, nobody can give extra water, because the first right of the 20 TMC feet of KRS is for Bengaluru city for drinking needs, and that cannot be taken away. And Karnataka is well within its rights to understand and ensure that it needs to protect Bengaluru city's drinking water needs. And no court can challenge that. So there's nothing to worry as far as this is concerned. There might be some mismatch in the volumes that will come, but I'm sure CWRC and CWMA will definitely come out with something which will be a coordinated formula sooner or later, and then take action accordingly.
Okay, I personally feel, and this could be my limited opinion, it's just that the Cauvery mechanism has become too reactive. Every year we've got a different rain spell, with every monsoon turning into a fresh political confrontation and a legal confrontation at that as well. So for Karnataka, it's about the water security, and for Tamil Nadu, it's about its rightful share. But I think Mr. Sriram said it absolutely right. All the sides, the center and these two, governments need to come together, irrespective of who's really at the ruling, dispensation in any of these states. And of course, the water, problems, the drinking water problems, and the emotions that are running high, that is also something that cannot be overlooked. In the end, one can only hope that good sense prevails. Many thanks, gentlemen, for taking out the time and speaking to us here on Newsline. Let's hope that August 17, we've got a better understanding of what really happens here. S.S. Sriram, ladies and gentlemen, and Mr. Vijay Grover. All right then, before we wrap this segment of In Your Interest up, today something very interesting happened, and I thought I'd bring this to the viewers as well. Imagine you're applying for one of the most powerful administrative posts. I'll tell you what this is about. Imagine you're applying for one of the most powerful administrative posts linked to a temple.